Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay and I make videos on a whole bunch of different things. Homeschooling, minimalism, frugal living, kind of all of the things. Just depends what I feel like talking about that week. Anyways, today's video is going to be about 25 things that I am not spending money on this year. It's a pretty big trend right now, especially with the end of the year coming up. And while we are frugal, we do still spend money. And so I thought I would give a list of things that we won't spend money on. And spoiler alert, it does not include takeout coffee, because I feel like if you're generally a frugal person, you're probably not spending $6 to $8 on a takeaway coffee. But that's just me. Anyways, so these are 25 things that we will not be spending money on, that we have spent money on in the past, and that we are cutting out of our budget for this year. So number one would be excessive homeschool curriculum. This is a weak spot for me. I see new curriculum and it's like a shiny new phone for some people. I see it and I'm like, ooh, I need to try it. And so last year we spent a lot of money just trying to find curriculum that works for me, that works for our girls, that isn't, super time consuming. I don't want to spend 9 hours a day trying to do two different curriculums with two different children. So 2025, we're going to work on streamlining our curriculum and not buying an excessive hoard of it. Number two, we are not going to be buying things from Amazon this year, or at least I'm going to really try. Amazon can be a black hole for me. I find things that I didn't know I needed. It can also be really convenient, but I don't like to pay for Prime. So I typically end up paying for the shipping, and I spend a whole lot more money than I would if I just paid for Prime. Anyways, so we're just gonna try and completely do without Amazon for 2025. We'll see how that goes. I tend to buy clothes on Amazon, and we're just gonna have to go to the store to buy the clothes instead of purchasing them online. Number three would be new books. Now, I don't tend to buy physical books, but I have been known to buy Audible books. And so in 2025, I'm going to try and not purchase any new audiobooks. I'm gonna try and either listen to them on Spotify, because I have a premium account and you get 15 hours of free audiobooks per month if you have the premium account. And then I have Hoopla, and I already have several books on Audible that I haven't finished yet. So 2025 is probably going to be the year of finishing all of the books that I've started and I have not finished yet. Number four would be new furniture. We don't struggle with this too much, but we did just spend quite a bit of money on bunk beds for our girls' room. And so that was the last piece of furniture that we really needed. So in 2025, I really don't plan on getting any new furniture pieces, barring a catastrophe really. We're just gonna use what we have and try and save as much money as possible. And I think everything in our house works fairly well. Number five would be new storage bins. We have a few storage bins. We use them for clothes for our girls. We use them for toys. They're pretty aesthetically pleasing. They're white storage bins from Target. They're very versatile. One of them holds all of our diaper changing things for our 2-year-old. One of them holds, well, actually two of them. Two of them hold our girls' like pants. We use them all over the house. I think we have like 5 or 6. And then other than that, we don't really have a lot of storage bins. We have 3 totes out in our storage, and they have, I think one of them has military uniforms, one has seasonal things, mostly Christmas stuff, and then one has our packed bags. We don't have suitcases. We have 3 packed bags that we bought 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I don't remember when we bought them, but we love them. They're compact. And so we just keep those 3 totes outside in storage, and then inside we don't have a lot of storage solutions, because I feel like the more storage solutions you have, the more clutter it attracts. And then you're in the cycle of constantly reorganizing, and we don't want to do that. So no new storage bins. Everything needs to fit with what we have and what we can currently work with. Number 6 would be no new dishes. We have plenty of dishes as far as I can tell, and if something breaks, I think we're just gonna try and do without it. We are only a family of 5. I think our current dish set that we've had for several years is a family of 6. And so even if something breaks, we can substitute, we can use a bigger plate, use a bowl. I don't do fancy dinners, so it doesn't really matter to me whether or not we're using a small plate or we're using a big plate, or whether you have a small fork or whether you have a big fork. It just doesn't matter to me. So no new dishware, no new coffee mugs, no coffee travel mugs. The only caveat to this obviously would be my husband and I have one travel coffee mug each, and we both take them to work or we take them on in the car. And so if one of them breaks and is just completely unusable, then yes, we would replace that. But they're Yetis and we've had them for I think over 3 years now, and they've held up very well. I don't foresee a need to replace them. Number 7 would be no new subscriptions. So we have a few subscriptions that we pay for. We pay for Spotify. We have the Duo for my husband and I. I love Spotify. I get free audiobooks. We can have our own playlists. We can have our own accounts. Spotify just works really well. Plus, I don't need a separate podcast app. I can listen to podcasts on Spotify. Spotify just works really well. It's $16 and it's for my husband and I. And then right now we are paying for Disney Plus. I don't think we will continue that in 2025. We had a promotion where we were paying $1.99 for 3 months, but now it bumped up to $10, and that's for the ad version, which seems a little ridiculous to me. The other thing I paid for is I got the Calm app for $35, but I bought it in December and it's for the whole year. They run sales around Black Friday. I did not get it for Black Friday. I bought it in December, but they still had the sale going on. I think the Calm app is typically $70 a year and they had it 50% off. So I got it for $35. I'm using Calm in conjunction with therapy this year. We're just gonna work on some mental health, some spiritual health, some self-care. We're just gonna work on all of it this year. So maybe I'll make a video on things that I am paying for this year, and therapy is one of them. Number 8 would be new shoes. I had to replace every single pair of shoes that I owned, which I only own 3 pair. I own a pair of tennis shoes, I own a pair of Toms, and I own a pair of Chacos, so sandals. Those 3 things pretty much cover anything that I need. I don't plan on purchasing any new shoes. My sister is getting married in March and my Toms might not go with the dress. We'll have to see. But I do not plan on buying any new shoes this year or replacing them, barring the sole falls off. My other Toms, I ended up having a huge hole where my pinky toe was. I had to replace those. And then my Chacos, I forget what sandals they replaced. The other sandals I had were pretty bad though. I just don't remember the brand. Number 9 would be new clothes. I don't plan on purchasing any new clothes unless it's an absolute necessity. I am not a clothes person anyway, so this isn't really a struggle for me. I don't enjoy clothes shopping. I am not into like current fashion trends. I am very much a uniform kind of person. I typically wear dark colors. Everything that I own mixes and matches with everything that I own, and that's that. Number 10 would be bulk items. We do have a Costco membership, but I do not plan on buying much there except gas and our dog food. And so we do not plan on storing up a bunch of excess this year. I've realized with excess, it just takes up a lot of space and it's not worth it for the minimal cost saving that you get. So we will not be buying in bulk. Number 11 would be electronics. Again, there's always the caveat that if something happens, then we would have to replace it. Like, I don't have a home phone, so if my phone just decided to completely break, then yes, I would have to replace it. But I don't plan on buying any new gadgets. I don't plan on replacing my phone, my laptop, but barring them just completely breaking. And something else that I want to explore if they were to completely die on me would be to buy secondhand, because you can get it at a steep discount, and people upgrade their phones every year and their phone is perfectly fine. So that might be something that I look at if and when I have to replace the phone that I have. But it's an iPhone 14 Pro Max, I think. It's not super old, so hopefully I can get another 3 or 4 years out of it. We'll see. Number 12 would be kitchen gadgets. This includes every single appliance under the sun, blenders. I have an air fryer, but I don't plan on buying like a blender or a crock pot. I don't plan on buying any of that. I don't even know what the kitchen gadgets are now. Number 13, notebooks, journals, pens. You can find a pen anywhere. I am not particular about my pens. I used to buy journals and notebooks all of the time, and they typically ended up in the trash because I just never used them. I'm not a pen and paper girl. I am more of an give me an app. Give me the notes section on my phone. That's actually what I'm reading off of for this video, is the notes section on my MacBook. So I don't plan on purchasing any of that in 2025. Number 14 would be grocery delivery, Uber Eats, DoorDash. That stuff is just so expensive, and I just think it's unnecessary. Plus, we don't eat out a lot anyways, and so if we are going to eat out, I am not going to spend double the price to have someone put it in their car and deliver it to me. That's just ridiculous. Number 15 would be reusable water bottles, travel mugs. I already kind of went over the travel mug, but I have a reusable water bottle. I am actually using my daughter's old one because she wanted a smaller one that wasn't quite so heavy to take to school. And I'm going to use that one. We don't plan on upgrading or buying anymore. I don't get into like the whole water bottle trend that you see on social media. Number 16 would be board games. My husband and I actually do like board games, but we tend to like the same 2 or 3, and so I don't plan on buying any more board games. 17 would be throw blankets and throw pillows. I am not a throw pillow person, but I love me a good warm throw blanket. I have been using my kids' throw blankets for their bed occasionally on the couch because I have been keeping my thermostat super low. Our electric bill for December was insane. And I actively tried to cut it down, and it was still way more than I thought it was going to be. So, but I don't plan on purchasing any decor pieces, and that includes throw blankets and throw pillows. Number 18 would be a home in 2025. We do live in an apartment, and we are actively saving to buy a home, but it will not be in 2025. Hopefully interest rates come down. We'll see, probably not, but we're gonna have to save up a bigger down payment than we originally thought because of interest rates and housing prices going up. Number 19 would be unnecessary health supplements. If you're in the health space, whether on YouTube, I don't have social media, but there's health supplements everywhere. People claiming that this is the best next thing that's gonna solve all of your ailments. I don't typically take supplements. This is not medical advice, but I don't typically take supplements, and so I am not gonna get sucked into like the whole buy these ketones, buy these electrolytes, buy all of this stuff. It's just not something that I'm willing to pay for, and usually they're very, very expensive. Number 20 is toys. I think I've said this before, but we typically save toys for birthdays and Christmas only, and we don't buy a toy every time we go to the store. Number 21 would be exercise equipment. We live in an apartment, we have a clubhouse, we have an exercise room. I wouldn't really call it a gym, it's more like an exercise room. And they have free weights, treadmills, they have everything that you could possibly need. And so I actually go there sometimes, but and I'm also not gonna pay for like fitness apps. I will use free apps, like occasionally I use the Fit On. There's a free version and you can do quite a bit on there, but I will not pay for anything fitness related because I feel like with fitness, there's so much you can do for free and spending money is kind of just unnecessary. Number 22 is fitness gear. Again, I don't struggle with this specifically. The only reason I added this to the list is in 2025, I'm running a 10K with my sister, and when you start following like avid runners, like you see all of the gear that they have, and it's very tempting to be like, ooh, I could become a runner. But then you start buying like new shoes, new workout clothes, like all of this stuff. And I don't even know if I'm gonna like running long term. But it's like, I gotta buy all of the stuff and then I can become a runner. And I had to reframe that, like I can become a runner and then buy what I need. But that was very tempting only because I'm running a 10K in 2025. Number 23 is expensive phone plans. I think every frugal YouTuber talks about this now, but like there are just so many other options than, you know, the big four. There are just so many other options than like the big four, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, and I can only think of those three: Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. There's just so many other options. There's Mint, there's Visible, I think that runs through Verizon. There's Patriot Mobile. There's so many other options to where you don't have to pay $200 a month for a cell phone bill. We use Mint. My link is in the description if you want to check it out. But even if you don't choose Mint, like, you can choose so many other options. Like, there's no reason in 2025 to pay for an expensive plan, and it's not that hard. It took me 20 minutes to transfer from AT&T to Mint for my husband and I, and that included troubleshooting something with Mint on their customer service like chat box, something with because it was an eSIM and it didn't want to go from my old SIM to the new one, and it took 20 minutes for both, even with me having to contact customer support to try and work out that little bug thing. It wasn't a bug, but to try and, figure out what I did wrong to why it wasn't switching over. 20 minutes, and that included unlocking my phone from AT&T. So don't be paying outrageous prices for your cell phone bill. Like, that's one of the easiest places to cut and save hundreds a year. Number 24 is candles. I want to be a candle person. I think candles are so pretty, but they give me anxiety with small children. They're kind of expensive, and there's questions out there about whether or not candles are actually good for your health, and so I will not be purchasing any candles in 2025. And number 25 is on sale items. I am not against sales, but I will not buy something just because it's on sale. It has to be something that I was going to buy anyways, and it being on sale is just a benefit. Like the Calm app. I was going to buy a meditation app anyways, but the Calm app being half off just worked really, really well at the time that I needed it. So I will not buy things that are on sale just because they're on sale. Anyways, that's my list. Let me know down in the comments what you are not spending money on in 2025, and I will see you next time.